Hello, hello. Happy Monday, the 27th of January, the last Monday of January 2025. January always seems like quite a long month, doesn't it? But we're getting there. So I hope that you are well. So, Owen Jennings, your spiritual guide and divorce empowerment coach, coming in with the energies of this week from today, the 27th of January. It's definitely not March, until the 2nd of February, which is Sunday. So, I hope you're well, and I hope that you're starting to sense a shift in the energies now. It feels, as she says, looking out the window, not that you can see it, and the rain's battering down, but it feels as if we are emerging from the depths of winter, honestly. Certainly energetically, it does, as far as the skies are concerned, which is lovely. Um, so, the themes for this week are really to do with the new moon, which is on Wednesday in Aquarius. And we also have in the northern hemisphere, we have Imbolc. I'm not quite sure that's how you say it actually. Um, which is the midpoint between the winter solstice and the spring equinox, which is kind of awakenings and new beginnings. So, as I did last week, I think I pulled two cards last week, but this week I've pulled one card, which is Shine Your Light. This is from my deck, the Empowered Woman Rises. And this really fits in very well with the energies we've got this week. So shine your light. How can you shine your light this week? Step up and be seen and heard. So, as I've said, we've got the new moon in Aquarius on Wednesday, the 29th. That means that this week we will have the sun in Aquarius because we're in Aquarius season. Then we'll have the moon in Aquarius and Pluto in Aquarius. So it does feel like, this is the start of the Aquarius season. Aquarius is all about being bold, doing things differently, thinking outside the box, not necessarily following traditional ways of doing things. So how can you bring that into your life? There's this feeling of awakening and freedom this week as well. So that's one of the key energies that's happening. And then, as I've said, we have Imbolc in on the 1st or 2nd of February in the northern hemisphere. So it feels like I've already seen, I don't know about you've already seen some spring flowers popping up. But it feels like it's that sort of energy, like the breaking through of some flowers outside, the new beginnings coming in, which feels lovely, and some of this heavier energy lifting, which would be good, right? And don't forget, we're really moving into a period of following what our heart and our soul wants for us rather than what our egos are telling us to do, and certainly rather than what society is telling us to do, within reason. Don't go breaking the law. But it just feels, it just feels like we're moving to greater autonomy and waking up to the fact that perhaps, certain powers that be maybe have tried to get us to follow a certain way of being. That's societal conditioning, really. And we're starting to wake up and realize that perhaps there's a better way of doing things together in collaboration, a bit more unity energy, a bit more, let's work things out rather than having all this conflict. So that's, for me, that's certainly what it's feeling like. Um, just as an aside, I was on the train, very excitingly, on Friday. And I'm one of these people. I do go on my phone. I'm the first one to admit that I'm often scrolling on my phone. But sometimes when I'm traveling, especially on the train, I like to look around, see what's going on. Um, so, it's personal. But I just noticed how many people had their heads down looking at their screens, whether it be a phone or a tablet or a laptop. Now, I understand why. Um, but what really came to me in that moment was that in theory we're more connected than ever because we can find things out really quickly, we can connect with each other on social media, messaging, etc. But in another way we're not. You know, all these people had their um, heads down, if you like. Not that there was much to see on the train, don't get me wrong, there wasn't much going on, but it just made me realize, and that we're being sucked into whatever is on these devices. We don't know if what the media is telling us is actually true. There's always usually, I feel there's often a spin on what we're told. Um, and it's a really good way of maybe controlling us. I don't know. It's just how it came over to me on Friday. So I'd love to know what you thought about that. And I know that don't usually talk about these things on here. This is more about what's coming up this week for you, and I'll get to that in a second. But I just wondered what you think. As I freely admit, I go on my phone, and I understand why people do. And my children, you know, well, young adults now, but they too. But I just wonder what we're missing, and maybe it's time to do less of that. I don't know. I suppose it's the same as somebody reading a newspaper or reading a book on the train. I don't know. Anyway, so just a bit of amusing there, and I felt like I needed to say it. Right, so this week, let's get back to business. Before I get on to the channel part, just to make you aware, my two special offers that have been running throughout January will finish at midnight on the 31st of January. So that's Friday. Okay, so not long now. One is if you buy my Oracle card deck, you will receive a free 30-minute reading. They've been going really well. People have been really enjoying those, getting some clarity and guidance. And also my Discover Your Path intuitive guidance session. That will end as well at midnight on the 31st of January. So that's £90 rather than the usual 120 that I charge, and that will include a general overview of the year for you, what's available energy wise, but also a more detailed reading for the next 6 months. And you will also have the opportunity to email me at any point during the year if you've got anything that's come up as a result of that reading and you want, or that guidance, and you want to know some more, or you want some more clarity. Also, you'll get messages from my spirit guides because I've been doing channeling in these sessions. So a lot of clarity there. People that have signed up for those sessions are really enjoying them and receiving what they need to know so that they can then plan their year ahead in accordance with what's come through. Now, we know we've got free will and we know things can change, but it gives you a good idea of how to proceed or how to navigate the energies that are available to you. It's very bespoke. Okay, it's the energies I talk about today and each week, they're general for everybody, but we get into more bespoke detail if you book one of these sessions. So again, you need to book it by midnight on the 31st of January, but you could take your session obviously in February, not a problem. So in fact you probably have to, because don't think I've got any spaces this week. I'm not quite sure. But if you want to book, there's a link that you'll be taken to in my calendar, so you'll be able to see what's available. Okay, so let's let's bring in my guides now. That's what you're listening for, isn't it? Okay. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here again. Energies for the week from today until February the 2nd, we believe. Yes, so lots going on. Um, but lovely, sort of lighter energy. We say lighter, but there will be this feeling of you just want to get on with it. So even though everything's now moving towards Aquarius, which is sort of more free and more flowing, rather than the Capricorn energy, which was more practical, there is this feeling of maybe you've done all your research and or you've done some groundwork and now you want to get on with it. And as Alwyn said, that there is this feeling that you are, certainly in the northern hemisphere, there emerging from winter. Although Alwyn is questioning that because of the weather, but it's definitely signs of spring emerging. And therefore, if you know, look to nature, look to the skies, this is where you're at. Okay, you definitely will be. So just, we're feeling, a lot of you are feeling that push now to get moving, to really step into your soul gifts and your soul alignment, and to really get out there and show them what you've got. So we have the new moon in Aquarius on Wednesday. So as Alwyn said, 3 planets then being in Aquarius. Definitely start really of the Aquarian era or the Aquarian season. As Alwyn said, very much a maverick, wanting to do things differently. It really does fit in very nicely with the way the energies of ascension are going. So again, just really tune into that sort of energy of maybe thinking outside of the box. Unexpected things may happen this week as well that you didn't see coming, but they're positive. So that's good as well. All right. So be prepared for the unexpected. But there is this sense of freedom and clarity this week, especially if you've been doing the work, especially if you've been tuning into your soul and your inner wisdom and your intuition. You will really get the feeling this week of knowing where you're heading. All right. And of course, there may well be stumbling blocks along the way, but not this week. This week's very positive for moving forward. And that's the way to do, isn't it? Day by day, week by week, you build your life accordingly. So lots of opportunity this week. The skies are really helping you to move forward. And it's really time to sit with and maybe meditate with what you wish to do next. Can you put your ego to one side and that part of you that tells you can't do it, and just do it? Because this is what this energy is all about. Deep down you will be all right. The universe has your back. Okay, so just move in that direction with flow, ease, and grace. And as that card said right at the beginning, that Alwyn pulled from her own card deck, it's time to shine your light. And the more of you that shine your light, the more you're helping to heal the collective. Okay. Yeah, so that's basically it. It's going to be a good week. Really tune into the energies, make the most of them, really tune into this new moon. It's also known as the wishing moon, as most new moons are, but particularly as it's the first one in your calendar year. So, what are your magical intentions? All right, so take care, everyone, and we'll be back next week. All right, so I hope that helped you. And I'll be back next week. And don't forget, if you want to avail of my special offers, to do so. You have until midnight on Friday, the 31st of January. All right, everyone, do take care. Lots of love to you. Bye for now.